Why would the Eagles be reportedly heavily interested in one quarterback from the Senior Bowl this week? Also, the media has turned from ripping on A.J. Brown to now going after Jalen Hurts. DeAndre Swift speaks on his free agency plans, but the Eagles should look elsewhere for their new running back king. And Jason Kelce, he raved yet again about the Eagles' new offensive coordinator. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. Okay, let's be honest here. I'm not a huge Senior Bowl guy. I don't necessarily hate the Senior Bowl or think it's useless. Quite the contrary. I think it's very, very important. I just don't really care to watch it on television. Kind of like how I have absolutely no interest in watching Jalen Hurts throw footballs at targets, or Jason Kelce snap footballs through holes, or Darius Slay play, is that putt-putt? Goodness, the Pro Bowl's gotten so damn lame. But the one thing I do take away from the Senior Bowl is who the Eagles are interested in, who they've actually met with, and what kind of position groups they're really kind of keying in on. And there's a brand new report saying that Philadelphia is heavily interested in quarterback Spencer Rattler, according to Jacob Rabati. Quote, the Eagles have shown interest to and met with South Carolina quarterback Spencer Rattler at the Senior Bowl, per source. Now, again, a meeting doesn't guarantee a draft pick. I mean, outside D.I. Birds did a full list of players the Eagles have met with, and look, there's an absolute ton of them from the Senior Bowl. Side note, there's also a report from Philly Voice saying the Eagles are a lock to draft Lane Johnson's replacement this season, which, again, is like the biggest non-surprise ever. But in terms of Rattler, he's a fascinating prospect for a team that has their star quarterback, but as they've told us many times in the past, they want to be a quarterback factory. After watching Marcus Mariota back up Jalen Hurts last year, when we all knew that if Hurts went down, Mariota would absolutely doom us, Rattler could be a very interesting project quarterback who plays kind of in the mold of Jalen Hurts and could keep running the same offense if, big if, heaven forbid, Jalen Hurts ever went down for an extended period of time. He also has an eerily similar college career to Jalen Hurts, being a starter at Oklahoma, eventually getting benched for some guy named Caleb Williams, no idea who that is, before transferring to a brand new SEC school. Now let me be clear, I'm not saying you draft Spencer Rattler to compete with Jalen Hurts. I mean, the exact opposite. I don't want a Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts type situation 2.0. You just give Jalen Hurts this massive $255 million contract. He's your guy. Make that very, very clear. But Philadelphia keeps telling us they want to be a quarterback factory. They've spent draft picks on quarterbacks the past couple of seasons. If they're meeting with Rattler at the Senior Bowl, Rattler could be just the guy to be QB2 behind Hurts this year. Now, of course, again, I'm not ripping Jalen Hurts at all. You guys know I'm a massive Jalen Hurts defender, but I absolutely can't just gloss over the fact that 94.1 WIP continued their offseason trend of, I guess, ripping all the Eagles star players. How about Ray Dinger going after Jalen Hurts yesterday?
Where do you stand on the whole Hurts thing?
Am I concerned about him? I'd be lying if I said no. I mean, the easy thing, and what everybody wants you to say is, oh, no, come on, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Don't worry. I'm not so sure. I would go back and look at it. I mean, he did. I mean, in terms of his mechanics, as much improvement as he made last year, he took that many steps back this year. To the end, I mean, holding the ball way too much, throwing the ball into spots that he's got to know better. I mean, to me, if you want to put where he is right now in a nutshell, I mean, it's the sack in the end zone in Tampa. I mean, that's we were sort of building up to that moment, and then it happened that night. That's how far he's fallen right now. Last year, he doesn't make that play. Why is he making it now?
Let's be very clear right now. Anyone who goes on camera or on the radio and tells you Jalen Hurts was the problem in Philadelphia in 2023 didn't watch Eagle games. They're admitting to you they did not watch Eagle games, because you can't watch 2022 and the offensive system under Shane Steichen and then watch 2023 and the Brian Johnson, Nick Sirianni offense and go, yeah, Jalen Hurts is the problem. Now, sure, Hurts wasn't perfect, but he was still a top 10 quarterback. And this offensive system that, if you watch Brett Coleman's breakdown on his YouTube channel, he described it as a high school offense. Like, even film guru Brett Coleman himself had to admit that Hurts was the main problem.
Jalen Hurts is getting most or even all of the blame when, to be honest, if you watch all the tape and you pull all the relevant data for what this Eagles offense actually does very poorly, Jalen's been fine.
Either way, can we just go one day, like literally one day, without some 60-plus-year-old legacy Eagles media member calling out one of our stars and trying to get them traded out of Philadelphia? Now, speaking of the Eagles offense, you guys know I'm a massive fan of Kellen Moore. I absolutely cannot wait to see what he's able to do with all the weapons and, of course, Jalen Hurts down there in Philadelphia. A quick side note here, the Philly film room breakdown of Moore's offense on his channel is fantastic. Anyone curious what the Eagles might look like in 2024? Watch the breakdown you see on your screen right now. But the one criticism of Moore's pass offense offenses is the lack of focus on the run, leading some to kind of wonder if re-signing DeAndre Swift is even going to be an offseason priority for the Birds this year. I mean, they did meet with a bunch of running backs at the Senior Bowl, including, Frank Gore Jr.? Really? He's eligible for the NFL draft? Oh, wait a second. That's just Frank Gore Sr. in a wig. Anyway, DeAndre Swift went on future Eagle Micah Parsons' podcast earlier this week and didn't seem too confident about his return to the Birds.
Waiting right now. I feel like we'll see what happens. Time will tell with that. Just kind of focusing on training and stuff like that right now because I don't know what's going on right now. I was waiting on phone calls and stuff like that to see what's going on.
Now, I know a lot of people love DeAndre Swift. A lot of people want him back. A lot of people, including myself, think that Philadelphia did not commit enough to running him, especially later on in the year. But in an offseason where Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley are all on the market, I would be very, very, very interested in Howie Roseman doing a very un-Howie Roseman thing and going to get King Henry, bringing him to Philadelphia to be the lead back in Kellen Moore's new offensive system. Now, when Moore does commit to running the football, he likes to do it under center, and then he creates bootleg play-action passes out of it, and Derrick Henry would be the perfect style of running back for this game. And honestly, you could probably get him on a team-friendly deal because the guy's on the wrong side of 30 despite being extremely productive in 2023. What do you guys think? Let me know down below right now who you want to be the lead running back. Is it Derrick Henry? Is it Saquon Barkley? Is it DeAndre Swift? Is it Kenny G or a draft pick? Let me know in the comments section. Now, honestly, the running back spot, fascinating. We'll talk more about that as the offseason progresses. But what's even more fascinating is how there are a lot of Eagle players coming out of the woodwork, seemingly very excited about the potential of Kellen Moore's offense in Philadelphia, including yet-to-retire center Jason Kelce, who seemed pretty pumped about the hiring on his New Heights podcast earlier this week.
Have you met Kellen?
I have not.
Me neither.
Played against him a lot, obviously, when he was in Dallas. I was surprised, actually, when he got fired the 1 year in Dallas. It felt like their offense
Was pretty good.
even just like 2 years before that, he's being touted as head coaching candidate, one of the top ones up there. He's been one of the brightest minds for young offensive coaches for some time now. There was a lot of people, and I think looking back ourselves, that realized that we could have potentially been a little bit more creative, I guess, offensively. And I think Kellen will bring a lot of that. He did it in Dallas. He did it, I'm sure, especially in the Chargers, even though I didn't watch him that much. Everybody wants to bring up the Ezekiel Elliott snapping the ball type thing. That creativity didn't work in that play, but it's not always going to work. He's been one of the best offensive minds in the game. I'm excited to see what he brings to the offense and how it evolves with him at the helm as the offensive coordinator. What? What are you laughing about?
Dude, that play was electric.
I still want to know what was going to happen. I can't wait to ask him.
You're about to find out. You got to ask him. I think you're spot on with it, though. Zeke was supposed to get the ball. He just got hit at the line of scrimmage and couldn't get off of the block.
It threw the whole thing off.
Yes. It's the only way that happens.
I don't know. I keep saying this. It sounds more and more and more like Kelce is not officially decided to retire, even though Adam Schefter, blew the whole idea that, he's retiring the day after we lost the Tampa Bay Bucks, and now it's been a couple of weeks, and he keeps talking about how exciting the Eagles offense is, how much he loves Nick Sirianni, as we talked about yesterday. I'm still convinced he's going to retire, but all these reports and all these on-camera sightings of Kelce basically talking about coming back at least is giving me a little bit of hope that maybe 62 has one more run in him, and maybe they could end on a Super Bowl versus an ugly first-round Tampa Bay playoff exit. I got plenty more stuff happening the next couple of days and weeks, including a Monday morning announcement you're not going to want to miss. Turn on your notification bell for that video. I'm Thomas Mott. Have a great weekend. This has been The Thomas Mott Show.